there, my friends, viewers, subscribers. Call yourselves whatever you want to call yourselves. This is another grand episode of Storytime with Jake Flame, with yours truly, me. Yeah.
They're already pretty aware of who you are, kid. I mean, do you really have to be this dramatic?
It's called having a grand intro, puppy. You would know that if you were an actor like me.
You're not that good of an actor. Also, it's more like showboating if you ask me.
Well, showboating, acting, they're rather similar in some ways.
No, it's not.
It's all a matter of perspective.
No, it's not!
That's also a matter of perspective.
No, it wasn't!
I'm just saying.
But you didn't even say anything that time!
Yeah, okay, that's a good point. Anyways.
This kid, I swear.
Before we begin the video, I would like... Okay, I know this is like 6 days into the month, but just want to give everybody a happy new year. So, with that out of the way, we are going to do the next few chapters of Daniel X Lights Out. Because I want to get through these chapters really, really fast. Because as I've already informed you guys, we are going to be very busy doing a lot of crazy stuff. Hui. My schedule is going to be so screwed up for the next couple of weeks. Yeah, I have been working non-stop to try and get everything ready for this new video series project I've been telling you about.
He's lying. Not only has he been neglecting that, he's been working for a martial arts test and chatting with a beautiful...
Okay, they don't need to know about the third thing. Just about to say, but I can do all that stuff, okay? So what if I've been prioritizing other things over my YouTube project? I can do both. Video, martial arts. I can multitask. I'm actually quite a master of it.
What's the biggest thing you've multitasked over, huh?
I once multitasked making an entire Thanksgiving feast while reading the latest webtoon updates as well as Internet City's videos.
I mean, on one hand, I want to believe you, but I can't help but think you're lying about that.
Why would I lie when I just told you something involving food? I would never lie when it comes to food.
Yeah, okay, you got me there. You're kind of tough for that.
Now, before we begin, puppy.
Wait, you're talking to me?
No, do the thing.
What thing? What thing are you talking about?
The thing you usually do in these videos.
What thing?
You know?
Oh, yeah, that's right, that. I do that. Okay, if you guys like these videos, make sure to hit the like button and hit the subscribe. That way you know about the videos. And hit the bell icon. And maybe share our videos with your friends. Anything else?
Hit the bell icon, too.
I already said that. Hit the bell icon below so you're notified about us.
Oh, and comment.
Yo, man, I'm the one doing the intro, so let me talk.
Okay, by all means.
And while you're at it, make sure to comment down below if you have any questions about the channel and if you want to give us some ideas about future stuff. Was me doing it really necessary?
Yes, to be honest, it kind of sounds a bit better when you say it, man.
Yeah, I guess. Can we get to the story now?
Yes, let's get to the book now. Alright. So, where we last left off... Puppy, where do you remember us leaving off? Huh, little buddy?
Michaela's identity being revealed.
I was hoping you would remember. Yes. We last left off with the finding out that Michaela was the other spiritual consultant of Daniel's father. And her showing up out of nowhere right behind Daniel after he was done using that Alpernokian computer that he found. in the forest that belonged to his father, trying to get some answers about what the prayer's weaknesses could be, along with other things. Now, let us begin. Chapter 33. Oh, here, buddy.
Thank you.
No problem. Michaela looked completely different. For one thing, she wasn't wearing glasses or a short skirt. Instead, she had a long, loose-fitting karategi tied with a bright red belt, which, by the way, is even higher than a black belt in any martial arts. Whoa, really? Wow. I mean, as a martial arts, I already knew that, but she knows some martial arts. How crazy is that?
Bet she could kick your butt.
Hey. Yeah, I won't lie, she probably could, being an alien and all.
Knew it.
Anyways, I noticed that the pants and the top of her white karate uniform were done in the kata cut style, the design choice for elite competitors. Which, in case y'all did not know, it's similar to like a bathrobe, putting one end over the other. Very traditional.
Don't think they need to know that.
I was just giving them something. She was also bathed in a warm, incandescent glow that followed her every move, as if she were being tracked by a sunbeam. Michaela was definitely playing for the Legions of the Light, just like Xanthos, who carried the same kind of golden aura when he galloped across that open pasture back at the judge's ranch. "So, Michaela," I said, folding down the tusk and tucking it in my pocket. "I take it you're not really a teenager?" She smiled. "Only when I need to be." I couldn't tell you exactly how old she was, but even though her face was as smooth and creamy as an infant's, very odd description, but okay, I had a feeling her soul was as old as that meteorite back at the American Museum of National History. "Just out of curiosity," I said, "did you get off the train in Philly or Baltimore?" She grinned. "Somewhere in between." "And you were my father's backup spiritual advisor?" "I like to think that Xanthos and I worked together as a team to aid Graf in his work as a torchbearer and protector of all that is good. In the same way, I would like to assist you, Daniel. Your reactions in fight-or-flight situations intrigue me. They intrigue all those who dwell in the light." "How so?" "Your choices, much like your father's, seldom make logical or analytical sense." I couldn't disagree. I guess a lot of what we alien hunters do is totally illogical. Going up against alien creeps and their minions when we're hopelessly outnumbered. Turning into flies, cockroaches, or household appliances just so we can stay in the game.
Wait, when did that part happen?
Huh?
I don't remember the appliances part.
Yeah, I don't recall the turning into household appliances thing either, but who knows? Maybe we just forgot. Giving up any shot at a normal life so we can protect the lives of others. Okay, you could even call us crazy. "Where is the nearest clustering of human creatures?" Michaela asked. I'm sorry, excuse me? "Where is the closest Earthling population center?" I shrugged. Stafford, I guess? It's a small town about 12 miles southwest of here. Why? Michaela didn't answer. She just nodded knowingly. That's when the sky began to darken into a greenish-black swirl of angry thunderheads. The low-hanging clouds started to rotate. Dust and debris whirled on the ground as a sudden torrent of rain pelted us. But just as quickly as it had started, the rain stopped, leaving a dead calm.
That's pretty ominous, I won't lie.
You're telling me. And then I heard the roar of a rumble of a jet-powered freight train tearing across the sky. A monstrous funnel cloud appeared on the horizon, its tail dipping down to churn up the earth. It was a twister. A tornado headed south by southwest, heading straight for Stafford, Kansas.
I knew it! She's Wizard of Oz on them!
Yeah, not gonna lie, the whole twister thing definitely sounded like a Wizard of Oz thing, but...
It is! Is she trying to Wicked Witch of the West these people or something? Dude!
I have no idea what's going on. Well, let's find out in the next chapter.
We better! I mean,
Speaking of,
this cannot end well.
that was a pretty quick one. Chapter 34. The Twister was roaring down the long-abandoned Union Pacific Railroad tracks. Its sights set on the 1,344 friendly people who called Stafford, Kansas their home. I remembered visiting Stafford, a nearby town, once when I was a toddler. My mother and father took me to a restaurant called the Curtis Cafe, famous for its handwritten menu, homemade pies, and completed jigsaw puzzles lining all the wood-paneled walls. If I didn't stop this tornado, every one of those puzzles would be torn back into thousands of pieces again. So would every building on Main Street. Furious, I glanced over at Michaela, who had clearly called up the life-threatening Twister. Okay, yeah, she's Wicked Witch of the Westing this whole thing.
I told you! This woman's going out of control! I thought she was supposed to be a good guy! What the heck?
Hand.
This is nuts!
Yes, it's nuts. She had a way too angelic expression on her face for someone who wasn't exactly acting on the side of good so far. In fact, she looked like she was studying me, waiting for my reaction to the crisis. I guess I was her little white lab rat.
You can't be serious right now!
I know. I mean, what is it first the prayer, then Michaela? What is it with these aliens treating Daniel like some experiment?
Can't the poor guy catch a break?
I know. Would I fight the tornado or would I flee the scene? The basement of my old house doubled as a storm cellar, so that would have been the logical choice. Hide down there. Ride out the storm. But they had really good raisin cream pie at the Curtis Cafe down in Stafford. I'll be back, I promised to my strange visitor, who was still bathed in her warm glow even though the sky above us looked like soggy balls of sooty cotton. Couldn't even pay me to say that 5 times fast. Fueled by the surging need to protect others, my powers felt like they had been ratcheted up to a mathematically impossible 110%. Making like a champion figure skater, I went up on one toe, held up both arms, and applied force to generate torque on my axis of rotation. When my angular momentum had me spinning, I brought down my arms to reduce my moment of inertia and increase my angular velocity. Okay, what is this? A scene in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? What, they gotta talk about the life cycle of poisonous frogs too?
Dude, just stop. This is already giving me a migraine.
Yeah, okay. I felt like I had to say something. You come up with all the crazy references, you know.
Yeah, but the difference is it's funny when a toy dog says it, not when you say it.
True. I'm pretty sure it's funny when I do it, right, guys?
Guys, trust me, his jokes are not funny. Believe me, I've heard him at the comedy club. It is not humorous whatsoever.
You are not helping my popularity.
I'm just trying to be honest for your sake, pal.
Anyway. Twirling dizzily, faster than Natalia Kanonikova. Sounds weird. When she set the Guinness ice spinning record of 308 revolutions per minute, I rearranged my molecular structure so I became a whirling dervish of a dust cloud. After centrifugal force had expanded me outward to the size of an Arabian dust storm, I tore across the flat plains and became the first tornado ever to chase a tornado. Seconds later, I smacked my whirlwind self into the cyclone Michaela had whipped up and became one with a twister heading for Stafford. Through the power of my imagination, our gale force winds merged and we became a single gigantic funnel cloud full of dust, death, and destruction. The instant the first tornado's molecular structure became grafted into mine, I took over as cyclone pilot and set a new course, straight up into the sky. In a flash, we weren't in Kansas anymore. That was clearly a reference. We were about 30,000 feet above it, and above all those angry clouds. I mean, jeez. She was seriously gonna devastate all those people. She probably wasn't even gonna stop it either if he failed somehow.
Nah, she was clearly enjoying this.
And according to how he described her, she was just standing there with an angelic look on her face. She didn't even care.
Talk about a hardcore angel of death.
Remind me never to mess with these aliens, should they ever arrive in the world. Okay?
You do realize that luckily it's just a story.
Sometimes the lines between fiction and non-fiction start to blur. A lot. Now, Chapter 35. I didn't stop spinning my funnel cloud until I reached the frozen edge of the mesosphere, about 53 miles above ground. Weather balloons and jet aircraft can't reach this layer of the atmosphere. Rockets pass through on their way up to their orbits, but they don't hang out. I was totally alone. I became myself for a nanosecond as I released the kinetic energy of the whirlwind. The dust particles instantly turned to ice because the temperature at the ceiling of the mesosphere was a very brisk minus 130 degrees. Dang. I've only been able to survive walking 49 minutes in just negative 30. I don't think I'd survive minus 130.
I don't think even your old man could survive that.
Yes. Verily. I don't think any human could survive that kind of cold. Especially up in the air. Up here, the air is so thin that the atoms and molecules of gases hardly ever bump into each other. To warm myself, I morphed into a flaming meteorite. Wow. The mesosphere is where meteorites turn into shooting stars. So, blazing a brilliant comet tail, I scorched across the sky and hoped nobody down on Earth was making a wish on me. Be funny if they did. I know what I would have wished for. Number 1, turning into a big fat 0. When I had plummeted to a safe altitude of 30,000 feet, well, safe for me, but please don't try this the next time the pilot says, "You've reached your final cruising altitude."
This is crazy.
I know. I transformed out of a comet into just your average teenager in full HAHO. High altitude, high opening. Jump gear. Hey-ho parachute jumps are sometimes used for the insertion of Special Forces personnel, like my friend the Navy SEAL, into enemy territory. You pop open your chute about 4 miles higher than a weekend jumper would. I'm going to take their word for it because I've never done this before. When I hit 27,000 feet, I could see a Delta flight about 100 miles north at the same altitude. I pulled the ripcord to deploy my parachute. Only it didn't open.
Oh no!
Indeed. Oh no. Nothing popped out of the high-altitude precision parachute system I had whipped up for my trip home. As my rate of descent increased, my cheeks in the high-tech fabric in my jumpsuit were flapping like flags in a hurricane. But I didn't panic. I had altitude, which meant I had time. Maybe I could turn myself into a hawk or an eagle and swoop to safety. It sounded like a plan, only it didn't work. I don't know if it was the thin air and all those molecules and atoms not bumping into each other that was throwing off my molecular rearrangement capabilities. Or maybe I hadn't given myself sufficient time to recover from the mental strain of turning myself into a tornado. Whatever the reason, I knew I couldn't pull off the major metamorphosis I needed before I ended up like Wile E. Coyote at the bottom of a canyon. Fortunately, I also knew I would soon reach my terminal velocity, the point where a free-falling body, me, stops picking up speed because the downward pull of gravity equals the upward force of drag, resulting in an acceleration factor of 0.
Okay, what in dog's name does that even mean?
I have no idea. I never really focused that much in science, not gonna lie. Unfortunately, the speed I would be falling when I hit my terminal velocity would also be terminal, as in deadly, when I smacked into the ground. So I tugged at the ripcord again, and again. Nothing. My incredible imagination had done an incredibly lousy job packing my main shoe. I was spinning and twisting and spiraling out of control, heading straight for death at 200 miles per hour. Oh boy! Guess our buddy Daniel's in a bit of a pickle in this chapter.
Indeed, and not the Pickle Rick kind of pickle either.
See, folks, this is why you don't do stuff like this. Parachuting, going skydiving and all that stuff. Stuff like this can be dangerous.
Hopefully you'll find a way out of this.
Alright, on to the next chapter. Chapter 36. As the ground rushed up to meet me, and the blistering air gushed past my ears, my father's words echoed in my head. Remember, son, you must always have a backup. It isn't a weakness to be prepared. It is a strength. Or as they say in skydiving circles, when in doubt, whip the second one out. When I passed through 2,000 feet, I yanked on the reverse ripcord. Kaboom! My backup parachute exploded out of the nylon pack strapped across my chest. The rainbow-colored fabric deployed in a perfectly ruffled arc over my head and was yanked up into the sky like a wild animal caught in a snare trap. Then I started drifting downward. Slowly. I could see my old house. I could see Michaela waiting for me in the backyard. And best of all, I could see the town of Stafford safe in the distance. When my feet finally touched the ground, I used the forward momentum of my landing to trot right over to Michaela, hoping I would slam into her accidentally. But, sadly, no luck.
Dang, that sucks.
Yeah, I know, right? You did extremely well, Daniel, she said serenely. I chuffed an ugly laugh. Huh! Not really. I would have ended up flatter than a Taco Bell tostada if I hadn't had backup. No thanks to you. She said nothing as I unhooked my parachute gear. So was that some kind of test? Yes, answered Michaela. Well, not to tell you how to do your job, I said as I cut free my chute lines. But the next time you whip up a little pop quiz, try not to endanger the lives of 1,344 innocent civilians. Sunset colors lit up the horizon. There wasn't a single cloud in the sky, angry or otherwise, just a sparkling display of stars emerging. My time was running out. The people of Stafford were never in danger, Michaela said gently.
you had chosen to flee to the storm cellar and hide, I would have terminated the tornado. Are you kidding me?
No, she tells
Like,
us.
dude, for real? Come on,
Yeah.
now you tell us.
It would have been that easy.
This woman, like all of them, be playing mind games. But Daniel, this test was nothing compared to what the prayer will soon put you through.
Really? Well, thanks for the practice run. If number 1 sends a tornado, cyclone, typhoon, or water funnel at me, I guess I'll know how to handle it.
A meteorological catastrophe is nothing compared to the weapons the prayer has at its disposal.
You mean the Opus 2424? She shook her head.
Something worse.
I don't care, I said. That thing, that force of darkness, it killed my parents. Taking down number 1 has been my sole purpose on Earth for over a decade.
Even though the smart choice would be to walk away, journey to a distant, untroubled planet, and live another day?
Hey, what good is living if a monster is killing everybody and everything you ever loved? To be honest, he has a very good point.
Okay, you and your cowardly butt can't possibly be agreeing with him right now.
To be very honest, if a monster was killing my friends, if some guy decided to try and beat up my crew, I would definitely be running right into the danger and start throwing haymakers at that guy. I ain't gonna let someone or something mess with my crew, especially when I know I can do something about it. Running away would make me a terrible captain. So yeah, I kind of agree with them.
I mean, when you put it that way, I guess. You'd be like Don Toretto in there. Family's
Oh, really?
everything
You
to
really
you.
think so?
Heck yeah. I mean, despite how cowardly you are sometimes, I can see you beating up the baddie.
Thank you for your wisdom. Let's continue the story. Hey, what good is living if a monster is killing everybody and everything you ever loved?
I am impressed, Daniel. Not many would embrace the path you have chosen. In fact, your irrational, emotional choices seem to violate the very essence of what being an intelligent life form means.
So call me stupid, I said with a shrug. It's who I am. It's who my mother and father raised me to be. Blame them. Hey, blame yourself. After all, you were my dad's spiritual advisor. Maybe you planted some of this unintelligent behavior in his head as he just passed it on to me.
Perhaps,
Michaela said with a smile.
and for the record, we do not think you are stupid. In fact, we find you to be heroic.
Well, I guess there's a fine line between heroism and stupidity, huh?
Be that as it may,
Said Michaela.
we are intrigued and impressed with your actions. We will be watching.
How many of you are there?
Enough, I hope. Continue to live dangerously, Daniel X. It may be your safest course of action.
And then, the angelic girl I knew as Michaela dissolved into a throbbing ball of orange-red light and shot up into the sky. She roared and soared far beyond the mesosphere, past the thermosphere, out into the infinite reaches of space. She took her place among the twinkling stars in the sprawling constellations of Hercules, just west of Lyra, 27.4 light years away from Earth. Hercules. It's where we get the word hero.
What's up, kid?
I'm thinking of maybe making this one the last chapter. What say you?
Oh, come on, man. Please, maybe make few more.
If I continue with going through multiple chapters instead of putting like a specific limit, this video would probably end up like an hour long. Heck, maybe an hour and a half. Okay?
Just a few more chapters, please,
No,
puppy,
I have to
please.
stop somewhere. So I'll finish with this chapter. Chapter 37.
Ah, fine.
Alright. Exhausted? Why don't you try being a tornado, a comet, and a freaked out free faller all in the same day? I materialized a small tent and sleeping bag in the backyard of my former home. I did not want to sleep inside the building where both my parents had been brutally slain. Nightmares in IMAX 3D with THX surrounding sound, love that, would be guaranteed. It took me a long time to drift off, even though I knew I needed the rest, especially if I wanted my parachute, or anything else, to work the next time I materialized one. But I couldn't stop thinking about Mel. Where had number one taken her? Was she safe? Did she know that she shared her soul with Dana, my childhood friend? That last question was so mind-numbingly metaphysical that I finally drifted off to sleep, wrestling with it. A sleep that didn't last long. The ground shook. My eyes popped open. Something enormous had just crash-landed in the backyard.
What was it?
No idea. According to what the next sentence says, whatever it was, it had brought with it a darker kind of light than the golden aura of Michaela and Xanthos. That answers your question.
That literally did not answer the question at all.
Okay. The walls of my tent were glowing under the influence of ultraviolet black light radiation. My white socks and shoelaces looked like fluorescent ghosts. I climbed out of my sleeping bag, yanked open the tent flaps, stumbled into the yard, and was face to face with my worst nightmare. Oh, God, no, he actually showed up.
Who? Who showed up? What's going
The
on?
6.5-foot tall praying mantis monster stood in a hazy beam of black light. Make that a praying mantis, because the thing was rubbing its spiked forelegs together, eager for its next kill.
Oh, dog!
Hello, Danny boy! It boomed in its deep voice. The hero returns to his pathetic little hovel in Kansas. I appreciate the poetry of your choice. So many of your family members have died in this spot. It's right that you should die here too.
Okay, please, back your face out of me. This is creepy. I'm actually quite terrified right now.
I'm glad you're freaked out. That was kind of the whole point of the way I was doing that. The foul beast sprang one giant leap forward on its massive muscled legs. Dude does not skip leg day, I take it. Covering 15 feet in a single hop. Oh yeah. Its grossly bulging, plum-covered body jiggled when it landed right in front of me. You silly fool! It hissed through its jagged glass shard teeth. Its neck and breath reeked with the scent of maggot-riddled beef rotting in the sun. Ugh, okay, I'm starting to lose appetite.
Me too.
Wasting precious time entertaining my boring, over-sentimental cousin Michaela? Riding around with that ridiculous Fierdian freak Xanthos? Wait, hold on.
Michaela is his cousin? This is just getting freakier.
Kind of weird.
Totally is, man.
Anyways, I couldn't resist taunting the beast. You mean the Legions of the Light? The two golden oldies that terrify you? I fear nothing! The prayer screeched, rearing back its tiny triangular head on its stalk of a neck. I feed on fear, and you, Daniel, have much to be afraid of. I am afraid. I stepped back a foot or two, fanning the air in front of my face. of that rancid butcher shop you call your breath.
That's kind of funny. I
Hey,
go.
that was kind of clever. Foolish child. You should have spent this day seeking out a good hiding place on a distant planet, far removed from the gravitational pull of my ever-expanding black hole. Are we talking about your mouth again? I shot back. Because you should really see an orthodontist about those broken bottle teeth of yours. Maybe get yourself fitted for a retainer.
That's even funnier.
The prayer did not like me snapping on its crooked excuses for teeth. I heard a gurgling, mucusy wet sound. But instead of hawking a loogie at me, the thing shot a gelatinous glob of blue flame out of its wide-open pie hole. I dodged the fireball and zipped to my right, making sure I had a tree between the fire-spewing wackaloon and me. You cannot hide! The prayer bellowed. There is no planet, no dimension, no space or time where I cannot find you! The prayer hopped forward and, grabbing a clump of branches with both its pincers, wrenched my tree roots and all right out of the ground. Tossing the tree aside as if it were a twig, Number One glared down at me with its liquid black bug eyes. Say goodbye to terra firma, Daniel! Your days as the alien hunter end here, and now!
Okay, I won't lie. That time your drama was pretty cool.
As much as I really want to read the next chapter, because it's all really hyped up, but
Don't you do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Don't
Okay?
do it. Don't.
I'm gonna do it.
Don't. No, dude. Don't do it. It's already been hyped up.
I'm
Please.
ending the chapter there.
No.
Oh, come on, buddy.
Killjoy.
I did say I'd stop at chapter 37, and that's what I decided to do, my friend.
Not fair.
So, to be honest, the prayer showing up right then and there was kind of a surprise. Guess the guy did not want to wait any longer.
Yet, not gonna lie, if a giant bug thing was attacking me, I'd be running away.
Oh yeah. Hooey. Well, looks like the battle between the prayer and Daniel X is coming a lot closer than we think. What's going to happen next? And also, more importantly, is the question that Daniel had already asked himself. Where is Mel?
Yeah, you think he'd be using her as a distraction in the fight.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's basic villainy 101. Use what the person loves most against them as a distraction weapon.
Yeah, he probably just dropped her off where he was originally hiding away.
Yeah, but choosing not to take her with him to the fight is just, like, what if she runs away or finds a way to escape? He'll never know that.
Probably. I mean, using her as a bit of a bait sort of thing, right then and there in the fight, probably would have, been helpful. But guess the prayer is not much of a planner when it comes to final showdowns. Then again, can you really plan for a final showdown?
Got a good point there.
Yeah. Well, that's the end of our video for today, or tonight, depending on what time you're watching this. We hope you all enjoyed, and we hope you all are enjoying your 6 days into the new year.
New Year is the best.
Yes, indeed. New Year is the best. Until you get, farther into the year. Then it just, Well, we hope you all enjoy the rest of your night, or day, or whatever time you are watching us. Enjoy life. Live a little. Well, other than that, I got nothing else. Puppy, you want to say something?
Huh? Oh, no, I think I'm good.
Alright. Like my buddy said earlier before in the video, if you enjoyed our videos, like and subscribe and hit the bell icon.
And make sure you comment down below while you're at it.
Okay, yeah, comment down below. I mean, that one's kind of optional, but y'all do y'all. we won't judge. This has been Jake Flame.
And Puppy.
Once again,
Signing out.
Now, let's get us ready to hit the hay.
Is that why you weirdly read this in your room?
Why? Hey, I think it's kind of nice. I'm thinking maybe we should do our videos here in the room more often. To be fair, it's kind of a hassle getting that chair into the studio portion of this home.
Sounds more like you were too lazy to deal with it, so...
Can't I just have one thing with you?
No, you cannot.
See you later, guys.
Night-night.